My name's Jason Clark, sonar technician, submarines, United States Navy. My family was multi-generation military, so it was a matter of pride, a matter of duty. I was a sonar technician on submarines. You know, sit there and use sound navigation and ranging to help plot courses, make sure we avoid obstacles.
Dakota Allen, Army Infantry, Sergeant E5. So I grew up, I remember 9/11. I saw what they did and I just wanted to go pay it back, so joined the infantry. I was real lucky. I got stationed in Germany straight off, so was in my first duty station for a few months and went and got to spend a year in beautiful Afghanistan. And then I went back to Germany and enjoyed another year and a half of doing infantry stuff. And then I was in the National Guard for 5 years back home in Iowa.
Arturo Guillen. I was an E4 in the Navy, nuclear electrician. My dad was an Army officer. I didn't want to join the Army. I was like, I knew I was too smart to. I was in ROTC for 4 years in high school, and they had a Navy ROTC, so I was like, I think I could do that. The uniforms look cool. I went to college for 2 years, and I figured it wasn't for me. I figured I'd just enlist, and that's basically how I joined.
Oh, I've been a gamer since way back in the day. Nintendo Entertainment System was the very first console that I could say was our family console. In my second patrol, we were out just doing, circles in the ocean, which is what, ballistic missile submarines do. It's very boring. One guy that was a radio man, he was the first one that really kind of pulled me into PC gaming, because he told me, he said, look man, I got Mech Warrior and I've got a 3DFX Voodoo accelerator. Come over to my barracks after we get back, we're gonna play Mech Warrior. It just kind of grew from there, and I think that was my very first gaming support community, if you will.
I've been a gamer my whole life. First console I personally owned was a original PlayStation with Metal Gear Solid. Going forward, playing like Siphon Filter and every Tom Clancy game, Splinter Cell, End War, really stoked my passion for the military. We all would either do two things after the duty day: play video games or get super drunk. That was how we got to know each other. Weirdly enough, games like Ghost Recon and stuff like that strengthened your communication skills, and you could actually kind of hone flanking, just the logic behind it, not so much the muscle memory of it, of course.
Ever since I was little, I used to play video games. So far as back I can remember, we had NES, we went to Super Nintendo, from that to Sega Genesis. We even had a Sega CD, Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, PlayStation. Me personally, my favorite was RPG games. As soon as PCs were a thing and PC gaming was a thing, games like RuneScape or any RPG game, I played it.
You're not even on the floor yet, and there's this huge, lit sign that says "Welcome to PAX," and you're just like, boom, you're here. You just all of a sudden look out into this giant floor, and you see so much cool stuff.
Honestly, I've done a lot of pretty freaking cool stuff in my life, but that was a dream come true. Nolan North and Troy Baker, that was huge. Dave having that connection and Stack Up taking us to meet them, I fangirled real hard for a minute on that one.
I've never experienced anything like this. We've met indie developers, we've met voice actors, we've met people that are just excited about the games, and it's almost like that instant bond, especially with the air assaults. This brings us together, and we talk about our time in the service, and that's cool, but what really lights that, gets that spark in the eye of somebody else is when you start talking about your favorite game.
It's great to meet other veterans who have experienced similar things as I have that can relate to me on a video game level as well. And we're bonding over video games, but at the same time we can slip in our military experiences and into the mix. Just started shooting shit war stories, and then it seamlessly goes from war stories to video games and back again. It's pretty rad.
I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter, so I didn't know about Dauntless. So when we got to play Dauntless, I was like, wow, this is actually a game that I can play and stream if I wanted.
The very first thing that we did was we went over and played Dauntless, and we all took on a behemoth and just rocked that thing. And it's almost like we knew how to coordinate with each other, and that's what we did. It was amazing to me. I've never had that kind of experience in a game before.
before. I am 100% thankful for this. I can't even, I could never repay Stack Up for this whole experience, and it's really just changed my life.
I would like to thank Stack Up for actually bringing me here. I've never actually been chosen to like do stuff like that, so it was like a very like heartwarming. This is actually really happening, and I'm gonna get to like experience something I love.
Thank you for trying to keep up with the people that are having the hardest time. You know, we all need each other, and I think that's what this all boils down to, is that I didn't realize how far off I was and how much I needed people, and this just has really opened my eyes. So thank you all.